Chant Day. We are here again today, and I have to be very quiet because I have a baby that's sleeping. So we want to be not too loud this rise. It's a Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. And yes, I have a baby that's here with me sleeping, and I'm blessed, highly favored, and wonderfully made. And I thank you for joining Chant Day every day as we share the word and we unpack the word so that it can be a strength to our lives as we journey in this life. Okay? It's not easy out here. So, we chant the psalm a day. It's Sunday. A lot of you, this is a little about 12 after the top of the hour. I wanted to start at least 3 minutes after the hour, but I had some things to do, you know. So we're starting now at a little bit 12 after the hour. Wherever you are, it is about 12 after the hour. So whether it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11, it's little 12 after the hour. So the hour may change wherever, depending on where you are, but the minutes are counting the same. Isn't that interesting? As we move forward in the psalm today, and this psalm today is 58. Righteousness judges the earth. Righteousness judges the earth. So let's unpack what Psalm 58. I have read this psalm, so you can go look at my channel, subscribe to this channel, and you can see my in my unpacking of this Psalm 58. So I'm not gonna redo it again. All I'm going to do is look at this psalm in its entirety. It has about 11 verses, and thank you so much, Comedy Rocks, for your kind words. Thank you. And this psalm has 11 verses. And when I looked at this psalm, I just kind of took a step looked at myself, okay, because it does speak about righteousness is what judges the earth. So when I evaluate someone or I discern someone, this is what I'm going to use to do that. I'm going to use righteousness. Comedy Rocks, what is happening? We are on this channel, not to, exchange a kiss, okay? We are exchanging kind words, as you so began stating how that is, that you see me as this. And I thank you for those kind words. We have to just stop that right there, because when we move another further into physical, carnal and sexual, okay, sometimes people are led by that and not led by the inner workings of themselves. So I get this sometimes on this channel where people are looking at my physical and not listening to the words that I'm unpacking. So we have we have this happening. So I give thanks. I don't call that a kiss. I call it a give thanks. Okay? It's a give thanks of kindness. So how I show that is through my work. Through my work. So I have my artwork. Okay? These are my artwork. Mm, you're blessed, Comedy Rocks. I send you give thanks, greetings. So these are seascapes, they're called. These are called seascapes because they are paintings of the sea. This is one of my favorites. Okay, so when I look at the psalm today, about righteousness is what judges. We have to lead with that, right? Comedy Rocks. Love is such a powerful, beautiful expression of action. And it's not just a word, but it's an action. So, in your words of love, let's put that into action and purchase one of my paintings and donate to my summer workshop that I do every summer. We're going into 2025, right? I don't want to say we are because I'm not into that calendar. You know, everyone is going into, or some of you are going into 2025, right? Thank you so much. So think about 2025, $25 for these small ones. These are $25 for these little ones. You can donate and send me your address. I will sign it, write a poem, and send it to you. And you have something of me, right? These big ones are $250. So this is my favorite. This one here, okay? The one above me right there, okay, I gave to my mom. It ended up back in here. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, this one, is of the waves. So, yeah, love is an action. It's not just a word that sits on a shelf. Okay, it's action, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt you physically, intellectually, emotionally, or socially. Love doesn't hurt those parts of us. Okay, so let's put that into action and send in, your donation for my seascapes. I have some more seascapes. Okay, right there. This is a seascape as well. This is the view from where I live. Okay. So these are seascapes. And I have a series of black mermaid paintings. So when I look at the psalm today about the earth, because this is what it's talking about, that righteousness is what judges the earth, right? And this is what we need to lead with when we are dealing with folks, because righteousness and goodness and mercy and love is ultimately what is going to be the what's gonna be sustaining. Okay, so finding sustaining ways to express that love is where it begins. And Comedy Rocks, you can't contact me. I'm a mist. I travel very, I'm always traveling. So, personally contacting with me is not gonna be the case, especially now in my life where things are shifting gears, and the tightening of a circle of comrades in this revolution of love, using love, because the revolution is not going to be televised, it's not going to be on TV. And, we have to be the revolution. Each one of us, we have to be that. So, and thank you so much for liking me very much, because let me tell you, Comedy Rock, some folks out there do not like me, and that's the reality. Um, However, when I meditate on the words day and night, meditate on the psalm, meditate on the scripture, on the words, and on the goodness and righteousness and how I can be better and good, that is where I want to be. And some folks don't want to be there. And that's fine. Everyone has a right to be who they ought to be, or who they feel they should be. We have a purpose, and it's a higher purpose. I'm hearing this squeakling of this. Yeah, my God, nah. Oh my goodness gracious. See how we chant in the psalm? I will fear no pestilence that crawl through the way. None. So unpacking the psalm, we look at how that righteousness is to move and be that judge, that will be that judge of the earth. So we have to be part of that. We have to, it starts with us. So, and when I speak about it starts with us, it starts with that righteousness that is within us, because we have that good and bad in us. Okay, everyone that you meet is not all going to be good. There's no perfect person if they're out there, but that one where everyone came out of that perfection. Everybody came out of that perfection. It's whether or not everyone knows that they came out of that perfection, because when they come into this earth, this world, their perfection is dictated by the society that they're in. And the society that we're in has been blanketed by a white supremacy. Okay, and it's touched a lot of places where you wouldn't even think it would, but it has. And it's set up in a way of domination of one over the next, as opposed to pulling each one up, So anyway, no comedy rocks. We're not having that during the live, okay? We're going to unpack how righteousness and your righteousness can be a force and a superpower for you, okay? That it's going to lead you in paths that are going to have positive outcomes and good results. So the importance of coming out of your physical flesh and looking at people as how they look and not as what the essence of them are, says a lot about folks, that there's a superficiality happening and there's no depth of purpose. And that's why people walk around in their 40s and they don't know what their purpose is, because they've exhausted the superficiality of what the world is, and now what's left you don't know, because you haven't fed that. You fed the vanity, you fed the outward appearance. I know, because that's what was happening with me back in the day. Okay, when you're modeling and you're using your physical as a tool for influencing and accomplishing things, it's gonna that's gonna fade. then what do you have? Okay, because beauty fades. Comedy rocks. You saying how beautiful I am. That's gonna fade. And what are you gonna have? You're gonna just say, okay, done with her. Let me go on to the next thing. So this is what happens sometimes. And this Psalm 58 speaks about that. Okay, I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is righteous, good, kind, and overwhelmingly sacred. So the psalm today is according to do not destroy. It's a miktam of David. It's, the Jewish people, this is their language, miktam. And David is from Solomon, and there's this heritage of a lineage that comes from, these folks. And the power of that knowledge of these individuals who have overcome adversity using kindness now and goodness and just the drums and the sounds of the melodious musical, rhythmic harmonic pattern. It just shoots up to heaven. And what reigns in return is the abundance of protection and the abundance of, goodness and the abundance of what is written in stories of the parting of the Red Sea kind of stuff. Okay. So anywho, Psalm 58 unpacks so much. It unpacks how this decree of what righteousness is for all gods, for all, those. Remember I said that one perfect, out of that came all the ones, and they have forgotten that they are part of that perfection. They've forgotten to stay in the presence of that goodness. They've forgotten to do the will of that. So people are running amok out here. Okay, wild west, shoot 'em up, Bill. So the psalm today looks at how this righteousness, the righteousness, is what is ultimately the judge of the earth. Because remember, righteousness is going to cover the earth as the water covered the sea. So who is the judge of the earth? Isn't it righteousness? And who is righteousness perfected in its ultimate glory? Isn't it what they call God? And that's a name that's been indoctrinated and not defined. When you indoctrinate someone, you indoctrinate them. You don't tell them what that means, and you don't educate them in the process of indoctrination. You give them what you want them to know. So it speaks of a question in Psalm 58. Do you indeed decree what is right? You people out here, you gods, the ones who come from this perfect. Are you remembering that perfection and that presence and that goodness and that mercy? Because you have a superpower of righteousness, and some folks have forgotten that. And in verse 1, it's a question, two questions. And the question is, really, when we look at this question, I'm looking at it in terms of the death penalty. Because it's speaking of judging the children of humanity uprightly. Do you do that? You who call yourself gods, who call yourself Christians, who call yourself atheists even, who call yourself whatever you call yourself. Are you judging humanity in an upright way, using righteousness? Or are you using something else? Self-gain, You have a genocidal agenda? What is it? So, are you judging humanity in a righteous way? That's the question. And I'm not going to read the entire psalm because you can go look at my channel, Psalm 58. Look it up. I go wild on this psalm, and I'm not about to. I have, like I said, a baby that's sleeping, and I don't want to wake the baby up. So anyway, I'll just go through, one, and then we have verse 2, specifically, about folks' hearts devising, wrong things and handing out, the violence and stuff on the earth. This is what folks are doing. And in verse 3, 4, and 5 now, it's speaking specifically about where this comes from. And for you not to worry about folks that are devising wrongness and that their hands are dealing out violence. And we saw that recently when this man's hand dealt out violence in the middle of the street, shooting someone. Okay? And that's why it says you're guilty by association. This man is a CEO. He's guilty by association, associating with the whatever. And it's sad, but this is what's happening in people's hearts. They're devising this wrong things to do to people, and their hand is dealing out violence. And it's speaking of these folks who dealing out violence, that they were estranged from the womb, and they're defined as wicked. That's what they're defined as, not revolutionary. Because remember, the revolution is not going to be televised. So that wasn't a revolution, shooting someone and doing it. That's not revolution. So you can call it whatever you want to, but that's not, violence and hurting someone is not okay. That's not okay. That, according to Psalm 58, is wicked. And people who do that are wicked, and they're estranged from the womb. They go astray from birth, speaking lies. And they have this venom in their mouth like a serpent, as described as a deaf adder that stops its air, so that the deaf adder doesn't hear the voice of the snake, doesn't hear the voice of charmers or the cunning enchanter. So they're under this, influence. And speaking lies comes from that colonial that married to capitalism and had white supremacy. That's the lies. And it's estranged from the womb. Because remember, you are formed, that righteousness created you from the womb. So that one knows who is who. Righteousness can suss out the wicked, because the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray speaking lies. They have venom as the venom of a serpent, as the deaf adder that stops its air so that it does not listen to the voice of charmers or the cunning enchanter. So all of that is happening, right? And in verse 6, 7, 8, and 9, we see how righteousness is going to deal with it. It's defined as, God. And that God is going to, pour out that righteousness. So we have that righteousness breaking the teeth in the mouths of the wicked and tearing out their fangs. And they vanish as water. And, whenever they aim an arrow, or they form, or they, form a weapon, it's going to be blunted. It's going to be stopped in its track. And they're going to end up, these ones who have in verse 3, 4, and 5 gone, astray from birth, they're going to be as described as a snail that dissolves into slime. Okay? As the stillborn child that never sees the sun. That is, stillborn means that they've been born and they're not alive. This is brutal, okay? This is really brutal. So verse 6, 7, 8, and 9 is quite brutal. It's, and it's, speaking of the wicked being swept away, basically, sooner than, their pots can feel the heat of the thorns. Just look at that, the heat of thorns under the pot, because they use the thorns to start the fire to heat the pot up, right? So sooner than those pots can feel that heat of thorns, whether green or ablaze. So whether it's it's not catching yet, or whether it's all the way catching ablaze, they're going to be swept away. The wicked. So why should the righteous fare? And in verse 10 and 11, as the Psalm 58 ends, it's speaking of the righteous. It speaks of all this stuff that's going on out there that's not good with folks. And that righteousness ultimately is going to be the catapulting judge. And it's not individuals' righteousness, it's the righteousness that's from that perfection, right? That perfection. And out of that perfection came many. And those many some of those are being called. They're being called. Many are called to be gods, to be, but few are going to be chosen out of those that come out of that perfection. So in verse 10 and 11, the righteous is going to be rejoicing. That's the outcome or the result of righteousness, is that rejoicing. Okay? Seeing this vengeance that's and bathing their feet in the blood of the wicked. It's like, oh, gross. Right? And it's described as that because it's so much. You're going to be able to bathe your feet in their blood. And that's gruesome, right? For those that have gone astray out of that perfection, according to Psalm 58. This is not according to Dr. Sewer. It's according to Psalm 58. It starts off with a question. Do you indeed decree what is right, you gods? How does that unpack itself? It unpacks itself because you all are gods out there. You come from that perfection. However, you've forgotten that. You've forgotten how to eat. You've forgotten how to speak. You've forgotten how to work with each other. You've forgotten how to, first of all, love yourself. You've forgotten that, so you run to other people to seek that love and that validation and that, comfort of not being alone. When in that aloneness, you're one with the oneness of that perfection that you come from. And how would you know whether you are forced into being alone or you choose to be alone? So some people choose to be alone and some people are forced into being alone. Their spouse passes away their partner leaves, however that may, happen, it happens. But you have to be alone in order to become your purpose. You won't know until you're alone. Don't be forced to be alone in a hospital bed by yourself to, find your purpose. Find it now. Grab it now. So the psalm really explodes because in the end of the psalm, verse 11, humanity is going to speak when they see the righteous rejoicing. Sir Jiggy with it. Blessed good morning to you, sunshine. Welcome to Chant Samba Day, and thank you for liking this video and for joining us today as we unpack Psalm 58. Psalm 58 is an unpacking now as we end it. So there is a reward for the righteous. In other words, there's this outcome where that reward is your purpose, is your gift. And surely there is righteousness, that ultimate one. There is that ultimate one that judges on earth. Okay? So, and out of that one comes many. So thank you for liking this video, and thank you for listening to this kind of summarizing of Psalm 58. I didn't, go through the entire thing because you can listen to this Psalm 58 on my channel. I did it before. I wanted to jump now to the word of the day. And the word of the day is joy. Joy is the word of the day according to dailyword.com, published by Unity Publishers. And shout out to those publishers for publishing this. This is a little booklet. Everybody, some people, get these. And when I was a substitute teacher, I discovered these in the school office. I think it was a secretary or something, and she had that these little, books, these little booklets, and it was for each month. And each month, each day had something, a word that, to help you along your day. So our word today is joy. And I love that because joy is ultimately part of how God is defined, and how we have to rejoice, because as you notice in Psalm 58, it says the righteous are going to rejoice. What does rejoice mean? You're going to be joyful again and again and again and again, right? And in that joy, you find a serenity, you find a sense of purpose, and next you find your gift, and next you find yourself. And next, you find what you need to be a good steward of the abundance of goodness that's given to you through your works, with faith that you're going to be okay. And with faith that your works are going to transform itself into something of abundance and purpose and longevity. Okay? So in this Advent journey, and if, I'm not going to define what Advent is in the Christian faith. In all the faiths, we have there is some sort of momentous transitory event that takes place. And these events lead to joy. They may be events that may be challenging and hard, like the Israelites, escaping Egypt, going into, the promised land, and the Red Sea parting. That was, challenging. And that journey was challenging. However, it led them to joy, right? It led them to being free. And what did they do with that freeness of joy? What did they do? They ended up creating idols and worshiping the idols instead of the one that gave them that transformative, eventful journey of freeness. So it's as if you are happy for the gift, right? People are opening gifts on the 25th. They're opening gifts all over. People are opening gifts, and they look at the gift, right? But they don't look at the giver of the gift. And that's an example of how people look at the bless that they've received, but they don't look at the source of the bless. And that source is ultimately righteousness. It's that midst of omnipresent goodness and mercy and love and kindness that has allowed you to breathe. That's a bless, number one, to get up this rise and to see this video and watch this. Thus, there's a source behind that journey that you're taking. And when you take that journey, according to, the word today, joy, you are in that space. So there is a stirring in the air that calls you to rejoice, to be joyful again and again. And it's according to the Christian, Advent journey, the birth of Christ is an event that sparks a truth of what righteousness is and how that righteousness works in an operational definition. Okay, so are we to look at that physical event? We have to look at the fullness of it in all, as I call the slices, the intellectual, emotional, and that social, right? So in the word today, joy, it speaks of that birth of, the Christ into humanity, and as an exciting time. And any kind of birth of a baby is exciting. You have this new life, this new, a new creature begs for a new creation, because that new creature is in the existing creation and is going to ultimately have a ripple effect in that creation. You know what I mean? We all have some kind of impact on the creation. What impact are we wanting to have? A good one or not a good one? And being part of this humanity, we have to look at how we are impacting each other and the earth, according to Psalm 58, right? About the earth. Righteousness is going to cover the earth as the water covers the sea. So the joy of welcoming love that's unconditional, and the deep knowing it's that birthright that you have, that all humanity has, whether you're Christian or whether you are whatever religion you are, you know, that oneness of humanity's righteousness is ultimately what it's about. It's ultimately what it's about. So, that birth of a baby, the scent of this crisp, clean air, watching a comet flame across the night sky, these are some of the wonders that bring, people joy. And you don't need to wait for those serendipitous things to happen to awaken your joy, right? You have to embark on this journey, this Advent journey, some Christians call it, that you have to grow in this faith that you may not see the end of the tunnel, right? However, your goal shouldn't be concern or worry about that end of the tunnel. Because then your focus is going to shift, and the process of the work is going to decline because you're focused on what the outcome is. Just like an artist painting, as me, for example, I don't worry about what it's going to look like at the end. I'm just going to go with it, the process, and enjoy the process and give thanks for the process. Shower the process with my righteousness, with my goodness and mercy, not negativity and frustration and hate and anger. Okay, and that's why art is so therapeutic, because art therapy allows the person to enjoy the process over the product and feeling that they have to have an outcome and know what that is, or you're just not a right. No. People have anxiety and pressure under these kinds of situations and circumstances, and it deteriorates their body. They become sick and have to take medicine, and then the medicine makes them sick, and they got to take another medicine for that medicine, and then that medicine makes them sick. They got to take another blocker to block that medicine. Next minute, they end up with a bag of drugs because of something that they could have just handled when they have accountability. Hi, Siddhartha Dodla. How are you doing, my love? Very blessed to see everyone on Chant Day and liking the video. Thank you so much. As we unpack the word joy today. So I talked just now about that faith, and you may not see, but you have to have that faith and the works, because faith without works is nothing. So the works, and what the works are, is the process I was talking about, right? Enjoying that process and not necessarily worrying about what that outcome is going to look like. It's going to look righteous because the process you're moving through is righteous. You're leading with that, in other words, right? You're leading with serenity. You're leading with patience. You're leading with forgiveness. You're leading with love. So with joy, this journey is, this is Advent journey is nearing completion. And as we are ending this Advent journey, this wonderful feeling of deep satisfaction and a full heart and a tranquil mind, okay? Remember, I talk about calm mind. A calm mind leads to the expectancy of this birth of righteousness within you. It's like you're birthing, just as Mary was birthing this Christ. You know what I mean? So look at it in that kind of. Thank you, Siddhartha Dadla. Bless. So as we go through this season, everybody is, decorating and gifts giving and, wrapping and hiding and lying and cheating. We go on and on. We have to look at the greatest gift that you can receive is from within. It's within. It's within. And once you birth that righteousness within you, according to Matthew chapter 2, verse 10, that's what the word joy today is brought to us by. Matthew chapter 2, verse 10 says, when folks saw the star had stopped, because this star was moving, the earth is moving, and it stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. So back then, the stars in the skies gave us, signs. Now we see that mankind has entered into that space, literally a space. And what may have looked like a star before may be a satellite, may not be an actual star. So this is still a journey. And in this journey, when we look at the biblical times, back then we saw a different time, and we're in this time now. And love and righteousness still is the ultimate goodness, even in this time now. That's different from that time when Matthew, wrote the gospel, and Luke, Mark, and John. So we have these men writing, these interpretations of events and this Advent event. So enjoy the process. Look at the process. I give thanks, and I, amen, amen, selah, selah, however you want to, seal up this. I seal it up. We're on the top of the hour. Wow, amazing, beautiful, sweet, really good. I like this. Message is held for review. Who is that? The other gospel, Luke chapter 2, verse 10 to 11, is our verse today. And it's about not being afraid. Do not be afraid, okay? You may be afraid of, things in creation, like little lizards or spiders or stuff. You may be afraid of stuff like that, but don't be afraid. You may be afraid of what the outcome is going to be, Don't be afraid, okay? I'm afraid of certain things. For example, I'm producing this oil, and this oil is healing. It heals people's pains, like literally. And I enjoy the process of making it. Now the outcome, I'm not making it to get rich and I'm gonna be balling, and no, it's the process of making this, oil, the process of mixing, the process of creating it, and the whole packaging and of it. So this is a dropper. You can see. It's a dropper here. So it's you Just drop it onto your skin, rub it in on the part of the area of your muscle. If you have muscle, pain in your arms, you can rub it on there and it soothes it. This is a package of 4 that's being shipped out. Okay? And it's taken off. I can't make enough. I just need to go on Shark Tank. Blessed rise, Connie. I need to go on Shark Tank to get, an investor to really push this, because it is just phenomenal what the customer feedback is talking about. So, the verse today, do not be afraid. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to just keep that. Oh, Chawa wants one. Chawa, send me your address. Send me your address and you will definitely get one, my love. You will definitely get one. Send me your address, you will definitely get one, because I have boxes. I have boxes to pack. So we're getting the bottle designed. This is a new bottle. It's a dropper. It's actually a dropper. So you squeeze and it fills up the dropper, and then you drop it on. Okay. Oops, this one has a hair. Okay. You drop it on. And I'm getting ready to put this online. So Chawa, you can either send me your address, a mailing address. You don't have to send me your house, or a mailing address, and I will send you one sample of this. I don't have a price point yet. All that's being worked out. Okay, that's being discussed on the negotiating tables. So yeah, this stuff is gonna be it's gonna be sold. You're gonna be the first ones to get it. Oh wow, for her headache, she's gonna put some on right here. Okay. It's for external use only. So you rub it on externally. That means on your outside of your body. You don't drink it. Okay. This is for external use only. And it's a powerful oil. So I thank you, Connie, for sharing that, and do give me some feedback as to her headaches, that it goes away. So I'm afraid. I don't want to be afraid. So the verse today is talking about that. It's for aches and pains. Aches and pains. It's also to, if you have like a burn, or you have like a skin, it's good for like varicose veins. You can rub it on your varicose veins. I rub it on the side, on the back of my leg. It's good for stretch marks too. I don't have stretch marks. I have 3 babies, but I never had any stretch marks. That didn't happen to me. I guess it's my DNA. It's not like vitamin E oil. It is more of a pain medicinal oil. Vitamin E doesn't, soothe any pain. Like if you have muscle pain, someone is using it right now for shoulder pain. You rub it on your shoulder and it soothes it. It's good for massage, for muscle aches. If you have achy knees, like your knees are aching, you can put it on your knee. You can put it on your wrists. If you have carpal tunnel, you put it on your fingers and you rub it into your hands. It penetrates deep It also has a fruit. It's the Mitronelia citrifolia. That's the scientific name. And that fruit has potency. We're in the top of the hour, everybody. It's 6 after the top of the hour, wherever you are out there in the world. But it's 6 minutes after the top of the hour. We're here on a Sunday. We're finishing up the Psalm. We just looked at the verse of the day talking about I'm not afraid. And that's coming from Luke chapter 2, verse 10 to 11. So we're talking about the oil that I produce and how you can get a sample. We only have a few samples left. So Chawa, if you would like to have a sample, let's see. If you would like to have a sample, you need to send me somewhere where I can send it to you. Blessed greetings of love and happiness with great gratitude for the Most High, El Sue. Thanks for joining. We're just about 7 minutes at the top of the hour, and we're finishing off actually with this verse. Do not be afraid. Righteousness brings good news. Right? Good news that will cause great joy for all the folks out there. Okay, so I'm not going to be afraid of this oil, okay, and the potential it has. I'm just going to enjoy the process of making it. I'm designing the labels myself. The name of the oil, I'm creative directing it. The name of it, I can't divulge the name of it yet on my live because somebody can take the name and go with it. So I can't divulge the name of it yet. I'm showing you a example of a bottle. This one is a dropper, okay, that drops it out a little drop at a time because it's so potent. Also the potential of the price point. So we have 4 in this box. See? 4 of them in this box. Should they be sold by 4s? Should they be sold individually? Should they be sold wholesale in a big bottle and people can buy it and break it down? How is this going to happen? I am thinking about all of that is on the negotiation table, okay, so that these investors, they're getting a certain percent off of each bottle, okay, and I'm not gonna price point myself out of it, okay. My children are going to be part of that receiving in perpetuity, that. So the biggest bottle I have is this. This is a organic coconut oil. But this is the biggest bottle I have so far. It's bigger than these bottles that I sent. So you all who got these bottles, these are small. These are a little bigger. Well, they're about the same kind of, but they're just kind of wider. So yeah, the biggest bottle is these bottles, and they're the spray bottle. Okay. This bottle. Yeah, I have thought about going on Shark Tank. So I'm putting that together in my mind and getting that together. That's why I have to get a price point, and I have to, I need you all's help. I need all my customers to, really give me feedback as to what's going on with this. And I need more than 10 people. I need, if it's a qualitative, study, it's 10 people, the minimum. So use the oil, give me some feedback, send me your feedback. I've gotten some feedback from some people. Go ahead and send me your address. We're at the top of the hour here now. But today, um, the 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 verse today coming out of Luke about don't be afraid. So we look at the Psalm today, 58. This is all tied together. Psalm 58 about that righteousness that is gonna, judge, you know, and that is coming in perfection. We aren't perfect. We come out of the perfection, but we have kind of lost our perfection because of the fall and the sin. You know the story. So we have to now strive now even harder to do good. And the verse today about not being afraid because righteousness is bringing good news that's going to cause a great joy for all the people. And we see the word today is joy. And Matthew talks about this overwhelming joy. And the word today is joy, being joyful about this birth of Christ. You are birthing that righteousness that same way. So when we talk about being in the presence of God, this is how you do it. Doing the will, that means your mind is encompassing and your mind is aligned with the fact that within you is that new birth of what we celebrate with Mary and Christ. Mary, Christ, much, right? We want that mother and child. And if you are a mother and you have children, you know what that is like. If you are a mother and have children but haven't birthed it, you are caring for children, you know what that's like. And you are going to be held accountable for the children in your care and what you show to those children and protect and love. So Luke chapter 2 talks about that. Today in the town of David, it says in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. In the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. That Savior is the Messiah. That Savior is the Lord. That Savior is defined as righteousness. The Lord is good. The Lord is kind. The Lord is merciful. The Lord is compassionate. The Lord is defined in these operational ways. So when we talk about staying in the presence, we have to stay and operate in those ways. When things come to us that's not of those ways, we have to be about those ways. We can't get sucked up into the ways of the wicked, because according to Psalm 58, what is going to happen to the ways of the wicked? It's brutal, according to verse 6, 7, 8, and 9 of Psalm 58. What's going to happen to these folks? Not good. So Psalm 58 speaks to this about the wicked are estranged from the womb. And then that's verse 3. Then we see how it's using a stillborn child as an example of what the wicked is going to be like, describing that. So it's important to err on the side of kindness. It's important to surah dochna. That means do good. Surah dochna. That's Amharic, and it means do good. It's good to do good. Good will come to you when you do good. It's important to do good even when you don't think somebody is acknowledging the good that you do. You're not doing it for that outcome of acknowledgement. You're doing it because it feels right. It's good to do good. It feels good. It should feel good. And and you're doing it because it's coming from that good heart, and not because you want to get, accolades and you want to get the best parent award or something. You're doing it because it feels good. It's something good to do. So the verse today really, rings true to how important, the process is over the product, the process. Because when you get the product, you're going to feel that process that was put into the product. Because when you get my oil, you're going to feel the love. You're going to feel that. So, Elsu, if you want another one of these with the droppers, I can send you one of these as well. I do not have a price point yet, y'all. Send me whatever you can, whether it's 5, 10, 20, 30, 50. It's all going to support my summer workshop. Okay, in 2025, I'm having 25 students in the summer, just 25 in 2025. They only pay a $25 registration fee, and then they pay $25 a day. That's it. We're doing 25, and I've just made that up just now. I gotta tell my team. They're gonna be like, you said that on live for the first time? Yeah, so $25 a day. So 25 times 5 days. Let's do the math real quick. 25 times 5 days. That's $125 every 5 days per child. And my workshop starts in June. We go for, I think it's 10 strong, so that's $12.50 per child. So you can do it that way. I usually have parents pay a cap amount instead of paying this $125. So it may be I may find a discount somewhere. So $12.50 times 25% discount is $12.50 minus that. So $12.50 minus $12.50 is $937. So about $900 for the summer 10 strongs with Dr. Sewer, and you're getting high quality teaching during the summer for your child. Anyway, and I'm doing it right up in my office here. Yeah, it's going to be done right up. This is the base. They drop their children here, and yeah, I'm going to see how that's going to work. But anywho, we might do certain times. We'll see. But your donation helps to pay for this for children. Look how much it's coming up to. So a child who can't afford, a family who cannot afford $12.50 for 10 weeks of childcare during the summer, getting reading and art, and going to the beach and exploring historical places and spaces, we can't afford this. Your donation helps a child who can't afford this. So thank you, Elsu. Okay, awesome. I need some quotes. So thank you very much, Elsu. Thank you so much. And thank you, Connie, for your suggestion about going on Shark Tank. I mentioned that before you said that, Connie. I had mentioned going on, trying to go on, maybe go on Shark Tank. So you added to that reality. I receive it. Thank you. So it may happen. Plus, I'm a performer. I can go in that tank. I love sharks. I swim with them. When I'm surfing, I'm there. I love sea. I'm a mermaid. I'm a black mermaid. I'm gonna go up there on Shark Tank in my mermaid suit. They're gonna have to wheel me in my black mermaid. I'm gonna come out in my black mermaid suit with the oils. Oh my god, they're gonna say this woman is cray cray. But yeah, so that is a good idea. I'm gonna thank you for sharing all of that. Uh, that's amazing. So speaking of the Black Mermaid, we have a few minutes left on this beautiful Sunday. I wanted to share my Black Mermaid prints. So these, you can get a print of this. You can get a print of this, any size. Um, and here's another one. Okay. And this one is, she's disappearing into the, water. You see the sun, setting there. So those are the prints of the Black Mermaid. And these are canvases. So these are also being sold as prints. I'm not selling these are as originals. They're going to be sold as prints. So you can get an 8 by 10 print, you can get a 11 by 14 print, You have to send the funds in advance so I can send to get it done. Here's another one. This is a board, it's, you can hang this up or this can be in a frame. This is the Black Mermaid. Okay. This is also an abstract Black Mermaid. It can be done any kind of way, like this. This one is the Black Mermaid. She's looking. She's looking for that special someone. This one, she's, going deep. Because you can tell because you see the top of the water. And then she's going deep in there. She's going deep to the point her hair is coming up. This is where she finds her food. Her food is deep in these spaces. Okay. So you can get a piece of the Black Mermaid as well. Okay, this one is, I forgot the name of this one. I think it's Black Mermaid Rise. Black Mermaid Rise. This one is Black Mermaid. I think she's, I don't know what's happening. She's in an alcove. We see some sand at the bottom there. But this is Black Mermaid. Yes, you should go on there really soon. I know. Thank you, Connie. I'm going to apply and go on. Definitely. This is another Black Mermaid. And I'm going to take these as well. These are going to be part of that so they can see my artwork. Here's another one. Yeah. Another one. This is a night, Black Mermaid at night. Beautiful. Another one. Thank you, Connie. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for liking this video. Nice Sunday morning to wake up and see some artwork. Yeah. She found something. She found something there. Found something here. Connie says cousin is like that. Cousin is like that. She wants to be happy, Connie. Let her be happy where she is. I'm happy that she wants to be happy. I wasn't obviously making her happy. You want this one? Yeah, a lot of people want a print of this one. I can get a print of this one for you. This one? Okay. And then we have this one. Yeah, I did all these paintings. I did these. Yeah, I did all of these. And this is my first time kind of going on live and showing my paintings because they've been in the Virgin Islands, and that's where I'm at here now. So I'm gonna get these printed for for sale. That definitely, most definitely. This one up here is also the Black Mermaid. Let me get this one down so you all can see this one up close. Thank you, Elsu. It is a strong form of expression. It definitely is. It most definitely is. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I also wanted to shout out to Mr. Wayne Clendenin. He is the honey man on the island here on St. John. He makes pure honey. Mr. Wayne Clendenin. I don't know if anybody know of Mr. Wayne Clendenin, but he makes this honey. So we got 2 bottles of honey. So if you want some honey from St. John, let me know because I can send you his honey. Okay? This is made on St. John from bees on St. John. And he makes this. This one was $20 for this bottle. So these were $20. My daughter bought these, so I was glad to get that. And I told him I'm going to, send a shout out to everyone to get his honey. And he's going to be, I want him to, I want my summer students to visit his bee and him to talk about bees. We're going to be looking at bees. I want to talk about bees. So, and bees make honey. And honey is what we use to sweeten. Is better than sugar. Sugar gives us diabetes. Anything white is not right. I mean, white flour, white sugar, white rice, not it's not our bodies does not break those down, and then it turns into sugar in our blood, and then we get diabetes. And we have to take all kind of medicine. I want the other one there. Oh, beautiful. Okay, you have to tell me which one. I'm gonna take pictures and put the names on them and the prices as a print. The original might not be available. I think I have to still think about whether I want the original out there or it's going to be a print. Okay, Elsu, you consider yourself a fish with your birthday being in March along with your other watercolor birthstone. That's amazing. March, when is March your birthday? Because my mom is March 26th. That's my mom, March 26th. So that's interesting that you are also March. And all the paintings that I have are seascapes. Oh, you're the 18th. Okay, awesome. So let me make a note of that. I don't have a, where's my pen and stuff? My, but I'm gonna go live on Facebook to show everybody my new offices here in the Virgin Islands. So if you follow me on Facebook, or you're my Facebook friend, or Instagram, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Those are the three places that you will find me. People stalk me on those three places to see where I'm at, where am I going, what am I doing. People are interested, even though they may not be in my life anymore. They still are interested in knowing what I'm doing, because things are getting ready to happen that is going to change my life and the lives of my children and the lives of my family here in the Virgin Islands, with the things that I am doing. And yes, Connie, you have to come to the Virgin Islands. You have to come to St. John. And your cousin came here, stayed for 6 months or so, and the island is beautiful. They have a resorts. They have places to stay. When your cousin came, that was right after the hurricane, because 2017 we had 2 category 5 hurricanes that hit the island. So 2018, I was telling her, you can't, there's no place to stay. You can't do anything. I'm coming to help the island at the library. So, it's best for you to stay. And she didn't want to stay away from me. Very clingy and needy. So that was a sign. Anyway, but when someone's clingy and needy, and they're not going to understand your lifestyle and your work, like you have to go out, you have to work, you have to be gone for 3-4 months at a time, and finding ways to stay with each other in a long distance. You got to communicate, you got to talk, you got to call each other, you got to pay bills, you got to work, you got to keep working, you got stuff to support the relationship. But it's not going to happen if just one person is trying to do it. So people are people. So anyway, I'm not on any others. I'm not on any other site, but I support your growth in the finance things you're doing. Thank you so much, Elsu. Yes, it's not designed to take everyone with you. That's what I told Connie there, that everyone is not going to go with me on this journey. And I don't hate folks. I don't dislike people who, betrayed or hurt me or, caused me to cry. I love folks. I send love and kindness. I don't send any badness, or I want them to bleed and I want them to hurt. That's not nice, because that weighs you down. Release all of that and welcome the love, man. Because let me tell you, it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing when you let go and let righteousness flow. Girl, bye. I say, girl, bye. Because guess what? Righteousness is going to be whether or not you're with me. It's going to be. Love is going to be no matter if you're with someone else or whatever, love and kindness are priceless, and they're actually going to be the only thing that's going to be sustainable in this life. So, yeah, the energy you put out is the energy you're going to receive. That's so true. That's why you do good, so good could come back. And that good comes from that energy. So I'm glad for this opportunity. We are an hour and 25 minutes. Have a blessed day, everyone. And remember, stand in love. Don't fall in it, because it can hurt. Have a blessed day. Take good care. So you gotta tell me which one. The name of the resort is Grand Bay. Grandbey. That's one of the resorts. And then there's the Westin. Westin. Have a blessed day, everyone. Take good care.